So a few of the things that I do not like, I mean, I do like, we have 2 seconds of don't like, that I do like about the game. The overall presentation, I do like the way the city is constructed and the way that it looks. There is a lot of life in the main cast of characters that you are set up to be playing with. I do like the way that they are characterized and how they look, especially like Takamura and things of that nature. I have my favorites and I have people I don't like, but overall, I really like the overall aesthetic of the game, what it was going for, making it feel like a cyberpunk kind of dystopian almost society. I guess like a post-neo-corporatist society where everything's based on like caste systems and like the corporations own everything kind of deal. We've seen it before, we'll see it again, but that was pretty cool. I feel like the characterization of Johnny Silverhand, which is Keanu Reeves' character, was a little forced. He does come off as charismatic and cool, but he also comes off as like a huge douche that like is more of a deterrent to the actual cause of he's fighting as opposed to going out for it. He almost comes off as like an anarchist, but his whole motivation for doing things, I'm not going to go into like the specific motivation because that'll be some spoilers, but he's like pretty much like anti-corporation, let's say. But there's a way of going about anti-corporation without coming off as being a terrorist, because then you're not going to get anybody over to your side. And he pretty much looks like that to everybody in the game except for himself. Even those closest to him, like, thinks he's off the handle. His closest friends, he treats like garbage. He pretty much doesn't care about anything. But he's super charismatic to you because of your relationship with this character in the game, which I'm also not going to spoil. It's a pretty fun, unique little thing that they throw out. Again, it's nothing that we haven't seen before. Think of the Batman Arkham Knight series with Bruce and the Joker, and you pretty much have that right there. There is a lot more to it, so that's not really spoiling anything, but it's a kind of similar situation to that. One thing that I wish that we could do, but I also do like, is like how popular you become, I guess I want to say. Like, you're getting these jobs because you're the main character of the game, right? But I wish there was some kind of system in place where you can work your reputation up with different quest givers in order to get the better quests and things of that nature. But the way that you get side quests, you literally just pick up these discs you find on the ground or anywhere scattered throughout the world, and you'll just get random phone calls from like these quest givers without ever meeting them, being like, hey, you never met me before, but I heard you're like the tits and I'm going to give you this job, so meet me here whenever you feel ready. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what it is. While I do like that, I'd rather have a reputation system that put more gameplay elements into it so that I can feel like I'm actually earning their trust or becoming close to these people and they're trusting me with these great, grandiose missions. I think that would just lead to my personal immersion, but this is supposed to be the I like section. I like the overall design of the the goons, like all the bad guys. I think they're pretty cool. Like, all the people walking throughout Night City do feel like they're NPCs that should be there, I guess I'm gonna say. Yeah, I don't know. There's some areas where like they're definitely thematic. Like, there was this one time that I was going through this place, I'm not going to give anything away, and it was like a gym that was inside, and there was all these like crazy like buff dudes like trying to come at me with like hammers and stuff, as opposed to like these futuristic guns, and I had to fight like a mini boss, and it was very thematic, and I thought that was like super fun and interesting, even though it was pretty hard at the time until you learn how to like overcome her. But I actually like some of those difficulty spikes because it does feel like you're running through this game on easy mode. You get really good weapons and equipment like very early on, to where you could just like, if you have any kind of accuracy when it comes to the shooting system and you know how to actually duck and cover, you can pretty much avoid having a rough time. All the times I've died in the game so far have been when I've been caught off guard and not paying attention to how fast my health was dropping. But they're pretty generous with the healing items. You can unlock your traits later on where you can auto heal outside of battle. It starts off with, I think, like up to 30%, but then it goes all the way to 100, and the speed at which that actually goes. There's fun things you could do throughout the city that are little time distractors. Like, there's these ports that you can jack into to where you can try to get more eddies, which is the game's version of money. I thought that's pretty fun, but they're not too hard to do. Pretty much if you don't have the skill or the trait unlocking the skill tree to get to a certain point, they're not going to let you do it. It's not like you have like key picks in Skyrim or something where if you're really skilled at like figuring out how to do that, doesn't matter how hard the lock is, you're getting in regardless of what the game tells you. This will straight up tell you, like, it'll be like force open, and you try to press square to force it open. It says like you don't have the strength level to force it open, so like you just gotta wait until you unlock that trait. Which maybe there may be some post game stuff in there with they know that you don't have that trait unlocked and you have to go back. So I will be interested in that, but it might also just be part of a sub quest or side mission that I haven't done yet. So we'll wait to see where the rationale goes on that. The characterization of the people that you are romantically involved with in the game, I know I mentioned that there's like a lack of variety when it comes to that, but the personalities of those people are really good. Like, they do really make you care about those characters and like want to help them and want to be a part of their lives and things of that nature. So I actually really like the characterization of those. It even sometimes was like, I went into this game like knowing that you can't romance Judy unless you're the girl version of V. And I was like, oh man, like who cares? Like I don't need Judy, whatever. She's been all the promotional material. That's like normie stuff if you're gonna choose her. And then like I was like, damn man, I really feel sorry for her, and like I really want to like actually be there for her as a character. And every time I had to like go to her aid, like I jumped on it, and I found myself actually really liking her character more than I thought I was going to. I thought she was gonna be pretty one note, but she's actually got like a really good personality outlook, a really good on set, and like the way that she views the world. Like, you, even though you might not agree with her, you definitely like you just want to help her, you know what I mean? So and that goes for all the characters in the game. Even like Takamura, when you first meet him, I'm like, oh man, this guy's like trying to kill me. He's like this like butthole assassin that's like going after me, and then you really want to be like his best friend by the time you're like going through half the missions. I just think the relationship between the characters is probably the best aspect of this game, and the thing that's kept me in it and motivated to play the most. There's also really cool like network features. It's kind of weird, like maybe like Mega Man Battle Network kind of things, where like your consciousness can go into like the net, and like the way that looks and interacts is super trippy and cool, and something that I would expect for something in a game like this to actually be, and so that's pretty satisfying. Some of the characters' motivations can be pretty weak, but they're pretty their personalities cover that up enough to where you actually want to do what they want to do. Like, you feel bad when the characters feel bad, you feel happy when the characters feel happy. It's very easy to become more immersed in the character relationships than it is the overall story, which is pretty weak in my opinion, but it's the characters along the way that actually really give oomph to that and emphasis and help you to really become involved with the game. Some of the weapons are a little samey. It's definitely not a Borderlands. There's not bazillions of guns. Characters drop almost the same stuff over and over again, so you're going to be, picking up the same weapons and equipping them regardless. You're going to stick with epic gear and rare gear. You're going to drop common gear and uncommon gear. It's just like the same thing, par for the course with any like similar open world RPG like this. I do wish they spent a little bit more time with them, making them more unique, or maybe having like you be able to customize the looks. Same with the cars, but it is what it is, right? Now, since they've changed the police system, there's really no repercussions for just taking someone's car and driving it. It's definitely not like GTA where you're gonna have the cops chasing you if like somebody sees you. Like, you steal a car and like you're pretty much good to go. Like, they're not gonna catch you. I feel like people said cops were overly hard in the first part of the game, and now like they're definitely way under. Like, if you're not gonna have trouble with cops, like at all, they're not gonna impede you at all. Half the time, it feels like you're working for them, because when you're busting down these crime groups, you get like reputation, and then like people like pretty much like cheer you on an email form and stuff, like saying like, oh, how good of a job you did and all that. Like, you're pretty much just the long arm of the law at the end of the day, which I kind of like, because there's like a subset to offset Johnny's lifestyle, so you're kind of like at odds with each other, when I think a lot of the characters should feel like they are more similar than they're not. There's little nuances to their character that makes it like ironic with certain friendships that they hold and things like that, but I actually kind of like that part, because I've said the characterization of the characters is my favorite part of the game. There are there's a little bit of a homogeny problem. Like if you go to some certain areas, like you'll only see one type of person, and if you go to another area, you'll see another type of person. I know they're like speaking on like caste systems and how like lame that is, but it's not like very realistic. Like you go to this one place that's like run by this church that's like by Haitians, right? But like literally everybody that's in that entire area is like like Haitian, or they look like their family members. There's no like variety in there at all, which is not really how like most cities actually are. And again, it could be just the irony of speaking to like we're pushing each other further away into characterizations and boxes to where like we're going to self-segregate in the future, and there's no more community. Everything's like run and controlled by the corporations. So I can kind of see where they're going with that. But from a gameplay aesthetic game like kind of view, when I'm going into those areas, I definitely want to see like a little bit more variety, so that like you don't stick out so much like a sore thumb, because you're supposed to go into these areas and infiltrate them, some of them like undercover and not get caught, but literally you stick out like a sore thumb no matter where you're at in this entire like overworld. So that needs some work, and I wish that like they would actually add a little bit more functionality to the AI, because sometimes they'll come running at you, and there's cameras everywhere, but like one of the first perks you can unlock is to like hide your face from the cameras, so like they can't pinpoint like where you're at and send guys after you. It's literally like one of the first perks you get for intelligence. So I don't know, maybe that's a little bit too easy too. I'm going to play the game on harder difficulties, and I'm going to replay it as female V in my next gameplay.